I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. At today's Senate Judiciary Committee hearing, Senator Dick Durbin responded to Justice Samuel Alito's draft opinion. The draft opinion revealed the possible overturning of Roe v. Wade on a 5-4 margin, with all three Trump-appointed justices joining Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito. Durbin accused many Republican-nominated justices of going back on claims that they would respect Roe v. Wade. Durbin quoted Alito's remarks about Roe v. Wade at his 2006 confirmation hearing, as well as comments from Justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett. Let's listen in.
Turn to today's agenda. I'd just like to make a couple observations about the news of the moment. Tuesday night, Justice Alito's draft majority opinion in Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization was published by Politico. Millions of Americans were shocked to learn that this draft opinion would actually overturn Roe versus Wade. Why were they shocked? It may be because this committee's recent Supreme Court hearings it took the nominees at their word. At least 4 Republican appointees who currently sit on the Supreme Court appeared as nominees before this committee and claimed they would respect the court's nearly 50-year precedent on a woman's right to choose and treat it as settled law. They assured us they would not be activist judges. They portrayed themselves as neutral umpires, driven not by policy objective, but by a desire to call balls and strikes, to adhere to precedent, to simply apply the law to the facts. This draft opinion tells a much different story. Consider what then Judge Alito, the draft's opinion author, told me when he appeared before the 2006 confirmation hearing under oath. I asked then Judge Alito if he viewed Roe as settled law. He responded, and I quote, "If settled means that it's a precedent that is entitled to respect as stare decisis, and all of the factors that I've mentioned come into play, including the reaffirmation and all of that, then it is a precedent that is protected, entitled to respect under the doctrine of stare decisis," end of quote. President Trump's 3 Supreme Court nominees paid the same lip service to Roe and Casey. Then Judge Gorsuch testified that both Roe and Casey, and I quote from his sworn testimony, "precedent of the U.S. Supreme Court worthy as treatment of precedent like any others," close quote. Then Judge Kavanaugh said that Roe was, and I quote him again, his statement under oath, "important precedent of the Supreme Court that had been reaffirmed many times," end of quote. Then Judge Barrett committed that when it came to cases like Roe, she would, quote, "obey all rules of stare decisis and apply its relevant factors," close quote, including reliance and workability. If this draft opinion becomes the court's majority opinion, these nominees will have shown again what we've said for years about certain appointees to the bench. They are, in fact, judicial activists. They are driven by desired policy outcomes and beholden to an ideological agenda. And make no mistake, this would be judicial activism. These justices were put on the bench by President Trump and Senator McConnell to deliver this outcome. President Trump said as much when he promised he would appoint justices who would, quote, automatically, in his words, automatically overturn Roe. And Senator McConnell proudly held open a vacant seat on the court for 10 months to achieve this outcome. I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope the court maintains Roe as the justices promised in their nomination hearings. But the record of activism from this court, from these Republican-appointed judges, gives me little hope. As Justice Stevens said in his famous dissent in Bush versus Gore, quote, "It is confidence in the men and women who administer the judicial system that is the true backbone of the rule of law," close quote. That confidence has been shaken this week. I hope it can be restored. With that, I turn to Ranking Member Grassley.
Well, first of all,